Good evening, ANCHORPETE here, and I'm with my wife Shari T, and we have our spoiler-filled discussion of MARE of EASTTOWN, and we are about to begin. You guys ready? Are you ready?
Yes, and I want to clarify it's episode 6.
It's episode 6, which
Sore must be the storm.
Sore must be the storm. Yes, and you know what? That is a reference to an Emily Dickinson poem.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we found that out.
We had to do our research. Yes. But what did that refer to?
Well, the poem is called Hope is a Thing with Feathers, I think. Sorry, we just looked this up. And the poem's all about hope, and the storm that's referenced in the title of this episode is everything that goes against hope, all the problems with society, all the problems people have.
Yeah. And there are a lot of problems in this episode, right? There's some bad things that happen. One of the things that happens, remember this.
Are you farting?
Those are new shoes. I got shoes that sound like I'm farting.
I love her. I love Helen.
You smacked ass? She didn't say smacked ass this time around, but I noticed that. That must be some kind of Pennsylvania slang.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I got my copious notes. We're ready to talk. Go ahead, join us in the comments. But one of the bad things that happened that Shari mentioned is that Freddie died, right?
Yes.
Freddie died, but you know what? I think that was a little bit of a relief to his sister.
Yeah, Bethy seems resigned.
Yeah, and Freddys death brought about a few things. It brought a conversation between Mare and Dawn, where Dawn was able to kind of bury the hatchet and thank Mare for rescuing her daughter. Besides that, it gave the plot a big jolt forward, right? That
yes.
whole scene.
Why is that, Peter?
Well, Mare goes to find Freddie's body in the house that he was staying in. I guess that was like their old house or something. His house.
Freddie had a home. It just didn't have heat.
Oh,
Did you notice how the air?
Yeah. So anyway, she goes through his house, and all of a sudden, there's all of Aaron McMinnon's stuff in his room, and that was really weird. It's like, okay, what's going on here? I didn't think he was going to be the killer, though. Did you, for a second, think he might be the killer?
No, I thought there would be some sort of explanation, and there was.
Yeah, it turns out that on one of the pieces of clothing, it was a shirt for their family reunion, and the date of the family reunion syncs up with the locket that Aaron had that Mare found.
Yeah.
So, boy, things went down on that family reunion, didn't they, Shari?
Yeah, something important must have happened.
Yes.
Something worth noting by engraving a locket and giving it to Aaron.
Yeah.
We found out that a Ross, no first name included on the receipt, ordered that locket, and Aaron tried to return it. And I think the episode, points us in the direction of Billy Ross. Billy Ross confesses. Why am I not satisfied?
Because does he? Does he truly confess? I want you to think about that dialogue that they had between the two brothers, right? He says, I want to hear you say it.
I want to hear you say you killed Aaron, he says.
And he says it, right?
Yeah, he says, yeah, I did it.
But here's the thing. They start that conversation, they start that scene mid-conversation, right? They don't, that scene, it doesn't go like where John Ross is like, hey, this happened and then this happened. Did you kill Aaron? That doesn't happen.
Right, he says it like he's sure of it, and Billy is like, you're right, I did it. So are you talking...
No. He doesn't say you're right. He doesn't say you're right. He says...
Well, he nods.
He nods. What I'm saying...
What are you getting at?
I'm getting at that maybe he's trying to make his brother take the fall.
He is. Obviously, John Ross is guilty. That's why I'm not satisfied. John Ross is the perp. But why is Billy saying he did it? Because
I think he's threatening him. I think that he is saying that the father, Pat, saw that there was blood on his shirt, and so everyone's going to think that he is the one that did it.
Why was there blood on his shirt?
Why was there blood on his shirt? Because I think maybe he was there.
Why is he saying you killed Aaron and he's agreeing to it?
I don't know.
Do they mean like a metaphorical you killed Aaron?
Oh, that'd be kind of fucked up.
Right. We're not satisfied. If this is not wrapped up, even though we have a confession, it is not what it seems. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. Well, look at this. Diva Insider over here has their own theory, too. Diva Insider says Siobhan is the killer. Aaron broke Siobhan's heart. I think Siobhan is also somehow involved with her brother's death. Okay, so Diva Insider. What I'll say to that, and this is all, we're speculating and stuff, right? I think that the Siobhan stuff is really to be there to show Mare being negligent to her daughter, right? To not paying attention to her daughter. And that by the end of the season, it's going to be that she tries to fix her relationship with her daughter. Because she wasn't around when the son hung himself. And we saw that in this episode, right? And the daughter, Siobhan, found his body, right? So that's the sign of like Mare's not present, she's not around, and Siobhan paid the price. Mare's not around yet again, and Siobhan is getting really upset about her current girlfriend. She goes and drinks, she takes some drugs, she goes and drives, and once again, Mare's not around for that. What do you think, Sherry?
What do I think about what?
Like, do you think that Siobhan has any kind of sinister thing connected to her, or is it just to show her relationship with Mare?
I don't want to you know what? I refuse to put my money on anyone at this point because it could be so many people still, although I feel like it's John Ross for sure.
Yeah.
But Siobhan, yes, there's still something going on with her, but I think I agree with you. I think that it's more about development regarding Mare's character and her family, because the show is just as much about Mare and her family and her life as it is about who did it.
Yeah.
We get really wrapped up in being like armchair detectives here and trying to solve this mystery and who did the kidnapping last week. And we don't always talk about the other side of this show, which is that it's a really well-written, wonderfully acted, family drama.
Yeah.
And so I'm feeling Siobhan falling into the family drama side, which is all totally important. This is the second episode in a row where I got tears in my eyes, and it was over the scene with Siobhan and Mare.
Yeah.
Where Siobhan is, she's drunk and high, and it's like, why did you make me find him? It should have been you. At first, I thought Siobhan was saying it should have been you who was dead.
Oh, yeah.
Which I was like, oh, that's awful. But I think she was more like saying it should have been you to find him. Why did you make me come home and find him? Which is really no one's fault.
Right.
And when Siobhan sobered up, I think she maybe kind of knows that. She's letting out some it was a sad scene, but they hugged, and it's actually healthy. And from a therapy standpoint, to get these feelings out there and to talk about it finally.
I'm really glad that you just said from a therapy standpoint, because that's what I was thinking. The therapist lays it all out in this episode, doesn't she? She literally almost says the plot of the show at one point.
The therapist? The
therapist, when she's talking to Mare. Mare goes to see the therapist, and she doesn't need to anymore. She's not supposed to go see the therapist, but she wants to, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is healthy.
Yeah, because she's feeling anxiety, right? And I want to go into that too. But to address what you just said, the therapist says that Mare is using external things to distract her from her internal grief about her son, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the external things are Katie Bailey being kidnapped and dealing with that case.
It's her job.
Yeah, right. She's burying herself in her work to get away from the trauma of her son's death, right? And then the other thing is the Aaron McMinnon case, right? And so she's become obsessed with these things because she's trying to get away from her situation with her son and grieving over that.
Okay, yeah. It's a distraction, yes.
Yeah.
And you're saying that's what the show's really about.
I think that's one of the things the show is about. The show is pretty complicated.
Yeah, I did feel like throughout the show, Mare has been patching up. The show introduced the shit show, and those are Mare's words, the shit show her life is. And I think throughout these episodes, she has definitely worked on her family. Maybe not so much with Siobhan, but with her mother for sure. The second episode, they were screaming at each other. And this episode, they're hugging each other. Mom's comforting her.
Yeah.
We had that terrible scene with Detective Zabel's mother.
Oh, yeah.
Which Mare goes to her door and wants to comfort her or say nice things about her son, and the mom's not having it. The mom hates her guts.
Oh, I told you that was going to happen. She's going to open the door, and then she's going to get smacked in the face.
Right, that mom didn't like her from the start, and now she certainly will never forgive her, and understandably so. We had viewers last week talking about how Mare is really irresponsible to drag Detective Zabel into her off the books, detective work and not have backup and all of those things that kind of indirectly led to his death.
Yeah.
So of course the mom's going to focus on all of that and blame Mare.
Yeah.
While that happens, we also get a very happy Dawn who didn't lose a child. In fact, regained her daughter, Katie, and giving thanks to Mare. So Mare has a whole range of emotions and situations in this episode. It's a lot.
Yeah. And speaking of Dawn, right? we did see a lot of these people that were on the basketball team with Mare. Remember that first episode they show her friends and her, they were all on this basketball team, this like iconic basketball team that like brought pride to the town.
Right, the Lady Hawks.
Right, and if you think about all their lives are really fucked up, right? All these Lady Hawk ladies, right? The one sister, her brother just OD'd. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, the saying fucked up is judgmental, but like the point
I know
is,
what you mean.
The point is trying to show that these women, their lives have brought them some misery.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So she's got her brother that OD'd in this episode, her one friend. Then her other friend, Lori Ross, her husband has cheated on her multiple times. There's other sinister stuff going on in that family.
Yeah.
Right. And then her friend Dawn, who has cancer. Right. And then her daughter was a drug addict. And then she also had a kid at a very young age. And then she was kidnapped. Right. And then Mare has her son committed suicide. And yeah, so this whole team, this basketball team, I think that's the kind of the part of the show. Remember, she was talking to Guy Pearce at one point, and he was saying how like her dad was going to be proud of her, and she was saying to the therapist too that she was this line of like, I'm afraid that people think I'm going to be a certain thing, and I'm not going to live up to expectations. Remember, she said that?
In this episode, she said it's happening again, where people are starting to expect things of me that I don't think I can live up to, and she feels that pressure. And apparently, that thing that happened in high school, like really did not contribute in a good way to her life.
No.
In fact, the opposite. It's been too much pressure. Yeah,
kind of the way that I took it was that in this town, people kind of have their drama. There's a lot of people with addiction. There's a lot of people having kids at a young age. Everybody knows each other. And maybe there's a little bit of glory that they were able to like eke out for that basketball game. You know, and it's like everyone knows you're a star, but you're just like everybody else. You have like a messed up life too. I think that's a big part of the show.
Yeah, she addressed that last week with Zabel. She has that really good conversation with him where being great is overrated.
Yeah.
You know, she says that.
Yeah. So why don't we kind of go into the mystery details, because I know that's what you guys are big fans of. And, you know, we've got a lot of subscribers, Shari, since our last episode. We really appreciate that. And, you know, as we continue to grow, that really energizes us and makes us want to put out more content. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And also, if you leave a like, we love that.
If you want to comment and talk about anything we're talking about,
yes,
please do so. I will write back to you. I spend a lot of time on Mondays wanting to reply to people, and it's not like a duty thing. It's because I need to talk about it, and I'm really happy there's other people who feel like I do and just want to talk about all the possibilities.
Yeah, like if you guys want to comment about how I was totally wrong about the priest being the killer, not the deacon, but the other priest. Was he Father Dan?
Yeah, Father Dan.
Dude, that was my bet. That was my pony. I totally lost that one.
I think a lot of people have lost bets when it comes to this show so far.
Yeah.
And we don't know for sure yet what happened.
It's totally one of those two brothers.
Here's what I want from next week's episode.
Go ahead.
Okay, obviously we want the murder solved, but I need a lot more details about who did it and why.
Yeah.
Okay, I need a lot more details. I also really, really am craving a flashback to Mare's glory moment in high school when she does this winning shot or whatever in basketball. I've been waiting for it actually the whole season, and I want it in this final episode. God damn it, I want it.
Oh, you know what I'm craving, Shari?
What?
I'm craving for Guy Pearce to come by with a basket with Rolling Rock in it.
Is it cold?
And hogies and cheesesteaks. You know?
Yeah.
And dude, come on.
Delicious.
I'm a little jealous.
And he brings her all that, and she kind of breaks up with him.
Yeah. He'll be back for the final episode. Do you want to bring up that one point that one of our commenters said that I think is a really awesome point about Guy Pearce?
Oh, okay. God, I wish I knew the viewer's name who told this theory, but I thought it was a really good theory, and I'll just go ahead and say it. And if it's not what happens, I think it would be great. A great alternative. Anyway, this viewer had said that, and please claim this in our comments. This viewer had said that Guy Pearce is on the show, yes, as a red herring, because he and Kate Winslet had made a show or a miniseries a few years back called Mildred Pierce, also on HBO, and they were in it together, so they're probably friends. She invited him to be on this show, kind of as a red herring, also to add a big name to the show. But his part is not to be the killer, but to be those things that I just said, but also that He is a writer who hasn't written anything good in a long time. His character on the show, Richard, that is. And that he has come to Easttown possibly having heard about Mare and her Lady Hawk's victory. He maybe seeks her out the night of the big party in the bar and starts his affair with her with the intention of writing a book about her. And that in the final episode, perhaps she will find a manuscript or she'll find out a book's going to be published and it's going to be about her and it's going to be called Mare of Easttown. By the way, he does mention the words, he says the words, I'm living in Easttown. I'm 52 living in Easttown. He says that tonight. I haven't heard anyone call this place Easttown, the whole series.
I think they said it in like some of the like the reporters said stuff like that too when they talked about Zabel's death.
Okay. Well, I heard he said it tonight.
He said
and to me, like, that is a freaking awesome theory, and it would explain Guy Pearce's presence, which has been driving me crazy since the first episode. I need some sort of explanation that he's going to have some sort of importance, and that would be a weighty thing to provide the title.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. Ties it all into a nice little bow at the very end. And it kind of is like the end of the Lord of the Rings when Bilbo has like written The Hobbit, you know, but they were in the Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a little tangent. All right, anyway, come on, let's get to the murder stuff because that's what you guys are here for, right? So as far as the details that were revealed, like we said, we know that Billy had blood on his clothes. His dad is the one that essentially ratted him out, right? Pop. Well, Pop, that was my grandfather, but his name was Pat, right?
I thought they called him Pop.
And B. Fitz, right?
I'm pretty sure he's Pop.
Well, somebody called him Pop, whatever. That's what people in the North say. B. Fitz, that's an intriguing theory.
About Richard? I know it's so good. I wish I came up with it.
Yeah, anyway, so what is still intriguing, though, is what the hell is on that picture that the police chief saw?
Oh, that best friend Jess brings to the police. What's on the picture?
Yeah.
I did think ultrasound photo, but I don't know how that exactly would reveal a father or anything. Which I think it has to be the identity of the father.
The only thing I can think of with the ultrasound picture is it might say Ross on the ultrasound because her name's McMillan. I know, no shit, it's Ross, but is it Billy or John? I know, no shit. So,
sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just like, I think John is, notice how John's whistling and feeling all cheerful and Billy's like really down and upset.
Yeah.
And Billy also has made the comment this episode that you always get away with everything to his brother John. You know, you couldn't keep your pants and your dick in your pants or something like that. Yes. Remember? And he seems bitter and angry. Meanwhile, John's like, I got kicked out of the house. My wife thinks I'm having an affair. He doesn't exactly say he was having an affair.
Come help me move this big mattress, my really old dad.
He doesn't seem that upset, which like strikes me as, I mean, if he's the one who did it, that's far more psychopathic, right? Someone who can lie and smile. Yeah. Whereas like someone who feels bad and has guilt is not exactly, that's the opposite. It's a person who has a conscience.
Yeah. Look at this. B. Fitz says the pictures of John and Aaron, I think. B. Fitz, I think you might be onto something there. That might be it. John and Aaron, John's holding the baby, right? Could be something like that. Or it could be like some kind of weird, like, they're like kind of.
A sex picture?
Oh, I hope not.
I hope not.
Yeah. But you know what? Speaking of the murder stuff, there is still something to be uncovered with Dylan, though, right?
Okay.
Because they're not really alluding to why he wasn't in the house, right?
No, that's not clear, right?
And he's still trying to cover something up. If he didn't have something to cover up, right, that they wouldn't have that scene.
I know. We had another viewer who like speculated that he's probably got some crimes, but they're more petty, like something like drug dealing. There's a reason he wants to burn all the journals, and he's got something to hide, and Jess is in on it. And we had a viewer speculating of something like drug dealing, where he doesn't want that to be found out. He has something to hide, but not a murder, not the father of the baby.
Okay, so then like when he wasn't at home, it was because he was like getting someone drugs or something.
Something related.
I like that.
Something related. I like that too. I don't see him as the killer at this point, and we know he's not the father.
No, take that, Maury Povich. So what else we got about the murder? The reason why Mare was able to track down the Rosses, right, was because with the locket, she went to the jeweler, and the jeweler totally recognized the inscription and the necklace. He was like, I'm going to just go in my book and look it up. But it just says Ross in there. It doesn't say, Billy Ross or John Ross.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And why is John Ross, how come when Billy says, I want to confess, John's like, are you sure? Why don't we go fishing?
Yeah.
Shady. And then he brings a gun.
Yeah.
He brings a gun.
That was totally like in what do you call it? Brokeback Mountain. You remember the wife would like pack the fishing gear or whatever for the husband, and she left like a little note.
Yes.
But instead it's a gun.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a different kind of fishing trip. And, I don't know, compared this to Lord of the Rings and Brokeback Mountain. What else do we have? I think that might kind of be it, right? Oh, wait, we didn't talk about the deacon. Oh, maybe we should talk about why I titled this episode Confession Palooza.
Yeah.
Because, like, essentially,
how many confessions do we have, Peter?
There was like 4 or 5 scenes where people admitted to the cops that they were lying to the cops, right?
Well, they confessed something.
Yeah.
Not just that they were lying, but they confessed things they knew.
Tanya is saying John is so shady. And
Thank
Tanya,
you.
I like your image. She's got Ripley in there for her little YouTube picture.
Yeah, Ripley's the best.
But anyway.
Side note.
Yeah. So many people confess to the cops. We start off with the deacon saying that, like, yeah, I didn't tell you the truth. That Aaron's bike, I dropped it in the lake.
Right. Confession from the priest. Confession
one.
number 1.
Then you have what's her face? The one that was previously the worst person on the show, Brianna. She mentions that, like, she didn't tell them that Dylan wasn't in bed.
Oh yeah, I liked that scene too. She kind of has to eat a little crow and like be decent to Mare. She had been so rude to Mare in the previous interview, and Mare just stares at her the whole time. She gets this like death stare. She also gets an apology from Brianna's father, who threw the milk through the window and ruined her sandwich.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't ruin it. She just kept eating it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I almost had a weird request that I was hoping that someone could throw milk through our window, because I feel like that'd be just so jarring and weird. But you never know with YouTube, people might actually do that shit. Anyway, so there's a
I'm not requesting that.
Yeah, okay.
No, thank you.
Just bring us the hoagies and stuff. So then you have Brianna.
And Rolling Rock.
And it continues the trend of Brianna starting to look better and better, and Dylan looking worse and worse, right? So there's that. Then I think you have Dylan.
Dylan does not confess. He lawyers up.
Right.
He doesn't confess. However, his little co-conspirator Jess does confess. She shows up, and that's kind of towards the end of the episode. After she hid from him and he dragged her out from under the car, which is like a horror movie. Scary, pretty scary. And he has a gun.
He does. He has a gun for her face.
And he threatens her about like blabbing anymore. Mm-hmm. She does go and blab after that scene.
Yeah, it had the opposite effect.
Anyway, she shows up at the police station, and Mare is already on her way to the fishing expedition, and she just confesses that she has evidence, right? And she presents that picture, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, we still haven't found that. Driving me crazy. I really want to see what's on that piece of paper.
And then I think, as far as other confessions, I think Billy confesses to John, or like what looks like a confession, right? Still, like I said, it could be that John is forcing him to say that. The other thing is that Lori then confesses to Mare. So what is that? Are we up to 5 at this point?
Yeah, and also even before Lori confesses to Mare, John confesses to Lori.
Right.
Which I was wondering in that scene, why is he even telling her about it? So she'll go and tell Mare?
That's exactly it. He's
so guilty. He's trying to pin it all on his brother. What a piece of shit.
Yeah. Oh, we got a $dollar budget has a comment too.
Hey.
Billy was drunk and doesn't remember what he might have done or what happened. John has convinced Billy to... Oh, boom. Look at that. $dollar budget. They're throwing in their 2 cents, and it's worth a lot right there. So awesome $dollar budget.
I agree. It's something like that.
I think you just... Yeah.
I'm not sure how he got the blood on his clothes or if he was present, but we're going to get those answers.
John must be the dad, even though they spent a lot of time making Billy look guilty. All right. You're right. We got 1 episode left. We're going to find out. So the last thing I want to talk about, unless you have anything else to talk about, was that sequence when Dylan was chasing after Jess, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was intercutting between that, and it was cutting between Carrie and Drew. Right? Yeah. So last week, Shari just lets out this audible gasp when Zabel gets shot in the head, right? She's like, oh, right? And then this week, with the freaking kid in the bathtub, Shari just flipped out. Our kid upstairs had to come out of her room and be like, don't scream. You know, it's like we just saw a little kid drown in the tub. Come on,
because they showed him face down in the water, and we're all worried about that because I wasn't. Pete and I were discussing, is she high in this scene? We're not sure because she was offered drugs at her dry cleaning job.
Yeah.
She turned them down, but they don't show, she like changes her mind and goes back and gets them. And she is an addict. I'm sure that's very tempting.
Right.
So far, she's been extremely steadfast, though. We have deduced that she fell asleep because she was so tired right by the tub.
Yeah.
Still not cool, though. The water was running over and he was face down, which was like, oh my. And you made the comment, I can't have anything else bad happen to Mare's family.
Right.
It's just it would have been too much.
It's too much. Like, yeah, because then you have her son committed suicide, and then
Are we still feeling like there's no possibility that the son is the father of Aaron's baby? Remember, like Siobhan's watching an episode of her brother. In this episode, Siobhan's watching some video of her brother saying, "This is the song I wrote for the first girl who broke my heart." I mean, like they have these little things.
What? No way. No. Whoa, that would. No one mentioned this to me.
I brought this up a few weeks ago.
You said to me in front of this camera?
I think so. Yeah, I said, or maybe I wrote about it in the comments.
Yeah, I think that's what happened
when I was discussing things with everybody. But
oh man, I didn't even think about the son.
I mean, Siobhan's always looking at his videos, and she said a few things like, who was with him at the the last video he sent her because he's with someone, and
dang.
I'm like, what if he's the father of Aaron's baby? And it's not that that's a crime, it's just that's the answer to the father. But John maybe like had an affair with her or raped her or had sex with her one time at the family reunion and killed her.
Yeah,
the killer is not necessarily the father. Anyway, so that's kind of still in my mind. I mean,
Jesus Christ, this just gets deeper and deeper. What do you guys think?
That would mean that the little baby DJ is
connected to Mare, and she'll have another kid to raise.
Well, she's got 3 ladies in the house.
Yes. Wow.
Oh, and Frank lost his wife.
His wife to be.
His fiance has moved out because she's mad about the possibility that he slept with Aaron too. There's so much.
Oh no, maybe Aaron broke his heart. Yeah, I think
he did get on. He seemed clean. And like he had his wits about him and was writing music. He didn't seem like a drug addict yet.
I think what I think is that
I'm talking about Kevin.
Right. The most sensational ending would be if John is the one that killed Aaron, but that Kevin was the father of Aaron's son.
I think that would be fantastic.
That'd be like real.
And Guy Pearce is writing a book about Mare.
Yeah, they could do all those things. I kind of feel like it's not going to be that over the top. I think that John is just going to be the killer. He's going to try to kill Billy, and maybe Mare will rescue him.
You think John's the father?
I don't know. Maybe Billy is the father, but John killed her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that could totally be it. I just would really love it, actually, if Kevin was the father.
Yeah, that's interesting. I totally forgot that part where it was like, who's in the video with him?
It's all subtle, but like all this stuff with Siobhan, I mean, we're talking about how, that's just the family drama side, and it probably is, but it could be somewhat related to Aaron.
Wait, okay. Well,
via Kevin being the father.
Well, then one last theory then. What if Siobhan is actually the one that killed her, right? And Billy was there.
That's what Diva was saying. Okay.
Oh, Diva. Bring it on back to Diva.
Yes. Yeah, she was saying earlier, Siobhan.
Yeah, okay. So, all right. I was pretty sure it's John Ross, but now I'm going a little bit towards Siobhan. Maybe it's like 80 John Ross, 20 Siobhan.
Right, because we do see Siobhan for the first time, who's always kind of had her head on her shoulders and keeping it together. We saw her lose it tonight. Yeah, right? We saw a side of her where she went a little nutty and stalkery. Yeah. Oh, she got a little stalkery on her girlfriends, right?
I'm so glad that you brought that up because I'm going to...
that raised my eyebrows. I was like, that's unlike her. I haven't seen this side of her.
I'm going to compare it to another movie. That reminded me of Swingers. When, what's his face? The guy, what's his face?
Yeah, the main character. Yeah, he harasses.
Star Wars guy. What the hell? From Iron Man.
John Favreau.
John Favreau. Jesus Christ. He just keeps calling the girl over and over again.
Someone said, I think Richard's the killer. You're hanging in there with Richard, man.
Diva, you're the one that gave us the...
Siobhan.
Yeah, you gave us Siobhan. Now you're saying it's Richard? All right, it's okay. Hedging your bets. They're not going to make the token gay girl the murderer. Maybe, I don't know. That would be kind of, yeah.
I actually hope it's not that, because I've enjoyed her story. I've enjoyed that character. I think she's like a sweet girl who's been through some shit because she had to find her brother and has her mom falling apart and her parents splitting up over it. I just hope that's what it is. But that kind of trauma could lead to psychosis.
Maybe.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope she's just sad and depressed. And
yeah, her killing Aaron kind of downplays that scene. And that was a very dramatic, disturbing scene when they found Kevin's body, you know, hung in the attic. So, yeah.
Sunday Night Depression.
Sunday Night Depression. That was our first episode's thumbnail. Anyway, Shari, I think it's about time for us to wrap this up. It's pretty late. I just want to tell you guys that if you have subscribed at this point, you're watching this kind of stuff with us, we do want to keep watching shows like this and reviewing it. Our next choice, which we think we're going to focus on, is going to be Lizzie's Story, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King book. It's going to be on Apple TV. It actually starts the week after MARE has ended. So I think we're going to give that a try. You know, we'd love for you guys to come on board with us. If you have suggestions for other shows that are upcoming, send them our way too, because maybe there's something we're not thinking about.
I love a mystery.
Yeah, stuff like this. Like, oh man, do we love like HBO kind of murder mystery stuff that's happening at the moment? Like, not shows that have been on for a while. Like, give us content that's coming out. Okay, so
give me some comments. I need to talk to Mark.
Oh yeah, you will. Let's see. Who do you think killed Rain? Who's Rain?
Aaron.
Oh, Aaron. Oh, it's a little spelling. Okay, gotcha. Rebecca, we just spent the whole episode. Our main candidates are Siobhan and John Ross, but mainly John Ross. Sharp Objects, very good suggestion, Diva. We watched Sharp Objects and we loved it. Shari read the book before it came out too. So John killed Aaron. There we go.
John did it.
Guys, thank you for participating tonight. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and we will see you for the finale next week.
Have a good night.